welcome to Deliberately Intentional with me, Remi Fagbohun. Today's topic is forgiveness. Yeah, a lot of people, whether we like it or not, have a problem letting things go. And it becomes even harder within a relationship. If I think about the number of clients I have right now that forgiveness is at the core of their problems, probably all of them. It's different things, either their in-law issues, it could be infidelity issues, it could be goals not achieved, parenting, the list is long. But at the core of all of it is that there's something that has happened and they never resolved it, and it ended up becoming an even bigger thing, and it created this huge gap between both of them. So let's dig into the forgiveness aspect of it, and why is forgiveness so important? When anybody offends you, it creates a negative thought towards that person. If you don't process it, considering that same place, let's say this is somebody that you're very fond of or you're in love with, then guess what? It's going to be chipping away at that love. You can't have love and dislike, hatred living in the same space. One's going to cancel out the other. So every time something happens and you don't process it and you don't forgive it and let it go, it ends up chipping away at the love. Over years, over time, what ends up happening is you turn back around and you realize that there's no connection between you and the person because all the love that was there is gone. Infidelity would be one of the bigger ones because everyone says that it's hard to forgive. Everyone says that it's the ultimate betrayal. It kind of is, because you're feeling like this is somebody that I have given my all to, and that person has now taken all of that trust and has done the one thing that you thought would be your deal breaker. That was the story with me. I thought that would be my deal breaker. That was the ultimate for me. But I also came to understand as I got older that sex to some people is not the same as it is to some other people. Some people it's just like, oh, something we do. For other people, it's something that true emotion is tied to it, and it's like, oh no, if I'm making love to you, it's like I've opened my heart to you. It's not the same for everybody. And until I got to understand that, then I realized that, okay, I'm not saying that it's okay for infidelity to happen, but I get that there are two different sides to this thing, and that what I'm viewing as, oh my God, something that you must have opened your heart for, the person didn't really open anything but their pants, literally. I know that sounds hard to understand and believe, but I've had multiple people, before it ever happened to me, I'd had people talk about the difference between just having sex with certain people and actually making love to people. So I knew there were two different things. So it made it a little bit easier for me to deal with infidelity when it came around and to forgive it, because I understood that it was two different things. Most women do not know this. Most women think that, okay, the same way I look at it, before I lay down with somebody or before I open my heart to someone and say that I'm in any type of situation, we must be in love. We must be connected. And so automatically when you hear about infidelity, you think that it's the exact same thing that must be going on with you, but it's not. So it becomes even harder for you to forgive. It's very different. But letting go, most people think that if I forgive anything that someone has done to me, it means that I'm saying it's okay. You're not saying it's okay. You're thinking past what has happened. You're dealing with it because you have to. But you're also saying that we also have something that I'm acknowledging you made a mistake. I want us to process whatever this mistake is, and then I want us to put it aside, put it behind us so that we can forge a path forward. See, when you don't do that and you keep letting it occur, you're going to want to do something about that thing that you couldn't deal with. You're going to want to do something to make the person either feel that pain, or you're not going to let your love grow, or you're going to consistently be petty. Oh, the petty is what everyone's doing right now. Or you're going to want to get revenge. These are all the things that will happen in lieu of forgiveness. So it's not that I'm saying, hey, forgive, that makes you submissive, that means you're weak, that means you don't have any options, or that it's a do or die affair. I've heard all of that. That's not what you're saying. When you forgive someone, it's because you're seeing what they didn't see when they actually did whatever it is that they did to offend you. You're saying that, you know what, I'm not going to take this personal. I'm going to see that this is a flaw of yours, and I'm going to let it go because I still want us to have a future together. I'm going to let it go because of the love I have for you, and I want us to still have a future together. Or I'm letting it go because, you know what, I'm going to be the bigger person. And yes, to all of you out there who think that being the bigger person, why should it be you? Why not? There's got to be a bigger person. There's got to be someone that sees more, does more, thinks more than the other person. Doesn't mean that means you're going to keep excusing it, but it does mean that the few times that you are excusing it, there is a logical, sensible reason to do so. I think that when you forgive, you are actually, whether you like it or not, more powerful than the person that has actually done whatever it is to offend you. Then it is, whether you like it or not. You are saying that, you know what, being the bigger person is just who you are. Don't ever let anybody make you feel guilty or feel bad about the fact that you can think beyond the average person, because that person is usually me in my household. But I think over the years I've come to understand that when I don't forgive, that's where hate stays. And when hate stays, and I get angry. And when I get angry, then I start doing things I shouldn't do. I haven't been angry in years because I've learned to forgive. Probably if you're looking at the source of your anger, the source of your resentment, or sometimes even your depression, a lot of it is tied to the fact that there's something in your heart that you're not letting go of. So if you take anything away from today's episode, is that the forgiveness is not, when you forgive anyone, it's not the other person that you're doing that favor to. You're actually doing it for yourself. Because when you have a clear thought, clear conscience, love stays. And you are happier. I'm happier with the things that I've forgiven. The person that I've forgiven all of those things, so that person looks at me as, okay, you forgave something that I didn't think I could even do. But it also keeps my mind lighter. It keeps my heart full of love. And it allows me to do things that will further get the relationship to an even better place. Me not forgiving means that I won't do any of it. Neither would you. If you take anything away from today's episode, it's just how important forgiveness is. Most of the people, once I'm able to get them past that point where they're like, okay, I can never forgive it, I'm never going to be able to see them the same way, they realize that it is possible. Your relationship will not return to the same way it was before. It would actually be better. With everything that has happened in my relationship, I haven't gone backwards to say that I want my relationship to be the way it was before, because with everything that we encounter, we actually get better. The relationship gets better. The core of most friendships, relationships, is the amount of things that you've actually gone through together, both the good and the bad. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Deliberately Intentional. If you take anything away from today, it's just how important it is to forgive. Didn't say forget, but at least forgive. It will help you. See you again next week, Wednesday. Bye.